Get the gang right to the side sex. Leave the fire and the roof style stuff. I grind like we're chasing the stars. From Millmore to Dew Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like middlemen, hear the roar now. We're middlemen, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. From Millmore to Dew Valley.
Good evening and welcome to Terrace Talk. I'm your host, King Bush, and we're back with a big show tonight. We've got Bez with us. How you doing, Bez?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing all right. I'm good, thanks.
Good. And we've got the legend that is Turbo Tom. How you doing, Tom?
All right, lads. All right, Lee. All right, Dave. All the best, guys. Let's have a productive show, shall we? And there's lots of things to discuss, as I'm sure we're all aware.
Yeah. So obviously back to the FA Cup, which means obviously we've lost. So I'm going to start with you, Bez. You was at the game. Tell us your thoughts of the performance. What went wrong, mate?
Well, what went right, more like. I think first of all, what disappointed me the most about losing is the fact that Hampshire is able to come out before the game, and you can't have a go at him because they've won 5 games in a row. And obviously, even myself, who I've still been critical of performances, I can't argue against winning 5 games in a row. And playing a team who are lower in the league, in the 92, lower than you are, at home in an FA Cup, it was an opportunity for Rotherham to go on to number 6 in a row, and then also, expect them to beat Burton, that's 7 in a row. So I'm disappointed that I don't think he's took it seriously. I think he's put out Elder as a second string team. I know he's mentioned the 14 injuries. We'll come on to that later. But even though he had nothing on the bench, he could have still kept the 11 on. I don't really remember anyone getting injured as such. The more subs he made, the weaker we became every single time. Again, I know we're going to talk about Ugle and the centre half and what have you. We'll come on to that later. But in terms of performance, first half was okay. Rotherham did miss some chances, so I agree with Hampshire when he said we'd missed some chances. The goal, though, came out of nothing. It was literally a ball to Nombe. I think he beat 3 or 4 men, and I felt the keeper should have saved it. You couldn't really tell where we were at the game, but having watched it back, I felt the keeper should have saved it. And then, as I've already said, second half, it started off badly, but it just seemed to get worse and worse and worse with every single sub and every tactical decision he made. And then when it went to extra time, we thought there was only one winner. We were gutted that it went to extra time because we knew we'd lost at half an hour because we were never going to win. And obviously, Swindon score. And with 10 men as well, that's another annoyance. A League 2 team with 10 men and we still lost. So, yeah, not very good. Back to slating Hampshire, back to Rotherham being rubbish. That 3-week honeymoon period's over. And that's my thoughts, I'm afraid.
So, just looking at the stats. So, possession, Rotherham had 51% and Swindon had 49%. Now, against a team that played the majority, nearly all of extra time with 10 men, that's pathetic. Shots off target, 7 for Rotherham, 7 for them. Shots on target, we only had 3 on target, and they had 11 shots on target. They had 9 corners to our 4, and they committed only 9 fouls, and we committed 17. Yeah, so there's some shocking stats there. And the fans as well are not backing this. Attendance 3,351. And they'd fetched a decent following. So
300, yeah.
I had a conversation you before we went live, Bez, about taking your son to the games. And despite when we was winning games, we're still not playing. It's not enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, as I was saying, I've got my lad who's 7 years old now, and he's ready to go, really, if he wants to go. But I don't really want to be taking him while we're performing like this. And I know we did win 5 in a row. But obviously, as everyone's seen that clip, I was still massively concerned with the stats. Now, the stats you just reeled off are very similar to Barnsley, although Barnsley probably dominated more than Swindon did. The difference where we scored a 25-yard off volley against Barnsley. This time, obviously, Swindon were more clinical with their chances. So I'm actually not surprised. Those stats don't surprise me at all, because the only continuous thing is that we always have lower stats than the opposition. If you look at any game, they're barring the odd one or two, our stats always look far worse than anyone else's. They have more shots, more possession, more corners, everything.
But under the good teams, the promotion teams under Warne and under Ronnie and the rest of it, at this level, we normally have better stats than the opposition. We're sort of churning out stats like we're playing in the Championship. We're playing counter-attack football in League One, which that for me is the biggest concern. I think Rotherham United at this level should be steamrolling through teams and beating them 3 or 4-0 on easy teams.
I don't think we are playing counter-attacking either. I don't think we've got a style. As I've kind of mentioned before, I think that he had his style, Hampshire, at the start of the season. Obviously, those 2 friendly games where they lost 5-0 and 4-1 everywhere, that's put him off. Because what I did notice on against Swindon was at the start, if you watch like the first, not Swindon, ignore that, sorry. Against on Tuesday against Man City on the 21s, right, or the 23s, whatever they're called, we actually started by trying to place the ball out from the back, and that's where that goal came from, Man City's goal. And I think that he's trying to get into that style, but because it's not working, because we aren't making mistakes, he gets rid of it really quickly. And that's why he end up not having a style, because he doesn't trust his own style. I really do believe that. And that's what I mean. A goal that Man City scored was Raggett, a poor pass into Kelly, closed down, and they've scored from it. And the reason he tried it in that game is because he knew that Rotherham were always going to be Man City under 21s. They're not under 21s. They're all 16 and 17-year-olds. We should be beating them, to be honest. That's why we scored 5 last time on the 4-1. That's why we scored 4 this time. So he tried it again, and even against a poorer, younger side, it still doesn't work. So, yeah, I don't think we've got a style. I really don't.
I've seen Rotherham fans saying, you can't count the FA Cup, but in the 5 that were unbeaten, we're counting 2 games against 12-year-olds from Man City, and we're counting a victory over a team that are in League 2 that are dreadful. So they're happy to count the virtual trophy, but we're not counting the FA Cup because obviously we're concentrating on the league. In the league where we're 15th, by the way, in the league, if the season was to finish on points per games, we would finish 16th. If you go on AI and ask it to predict the league table, we're not finishing higher than 15th. So that's not good enough for Rotherham United. And I'm going to put this tweet to you, Tom. I want you to respond to this tweet. So here we go. Bear with me. Let me get the right one up. Our fans are fickle and weird. So many players' absence and injuries, 5 unbeaten, and suddenly Hammy is clueless and shit. All of these spouting tribe were saying the manager of the month last week. I've never said manager of the month. I don't know where that's come from, but I've never said manager of the month. We beat every team we beat, apart from Barnsley, we should beat them. Barnsley, we got lucky. We won the game, but if you played that 10 games again, we'd not win it again. It was a brilliant finish, and that's all we did all game, really. And then the rest of it, your Northamptons, 2 games were in the virtual trophy, one against bloody kids that are wearing nappies, and we're counting them as victories. So I'll let you respond to that, Tom. So that come from Kev Johnson, by the way.
What I would say, right? Yeah, I mean, obviously you can only play what's in front of you, and winning is winning. What I'm incredibly disappointed with, right? Yeah, we've won 5 on the trot. I completely agree with you and Dave. We probably shouldn't have beat Barnsley. We were very lucky to beat Barnsley. We beat Oldham, although last minute beat Oldham. I think that saved Hamshaw's job, as Bez has said previously. The sheer disrespect for the FA Cup this weekend gone is absolutely it's really annoying. I sent you a post-match reaction, Lee, and I'm glad you never put it out actually, because like an absolute mental case. But I genuinely believe that they thought we can't be bothered with this. But there's going to come a time in the next couple of weeks where we're not playing on a Saturday. And these people that say that the FA Cup doesn't matter will moan because we're not playing on a Saturday. Trust me. Look, Carlisle just got through. They beat Reading 3-2, a hat-trick from their lad, you know. An away game at Carlisle, happy days. I'm near that. Do you know what I mean? And this disrespect to the FA Cup, we're not a Premier League team that's playing in Europe, right? It's the FA Cup. Let's have a go. I know we're going to break down the game shortly, but, you know, Kev's a good lad, and I kind of get what he's saying, but at the same time, none of us, certainly none of us 3, have been saying manager of the month. Manager of the month. We haven't, because it's been, I hate to say it's been lucky. We've been very lucky over those 5 games.
I mean, I think the actual real fans are voting with their feet. There was 3,351 there on Saturday. The football is been awful.
It's crap. And I think was there 864 Swindon fans. So they take a third of the attendance. That's not good, is it? No. Swindon's a long way away. Right? So do you know what I mean? What's Swindon? 5-6 hours? No, I'm talking. Sorry, 4 hours from Rotherham probably. It's about 6 hours from me. But I mean, look, it's no good. There was an opportunity there to get through, to get yourself into the hat for the second round. Might get lucky, get a non-league team, smash them. Third round, hey, we might get Man United at Old Trafford. We might get Arsenal at the Emirates. We might get Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You know what I mean? It's revenue, and it's just short-sighted.
What do you say to fans that are saying, well, we've got to concentrate on the league?
That's my biggest gripe. That's my biggest gripe, Lee, because currently we're sat 15th. Now, listen, I know we're going to get onto this, but we play Burton tomorrow. We beat Burton tomorrow. We are 5 points off the playoffs. We've then got Lincoln, who are 5 points ahead of us. Beat Lincoln, right? We're 2 points behind Lincoln. Potentially, we're maybe 3 points off the playoffs. Great.
But Tom,
that's going to fruition, doesn't it?
Yeah, but quickly, Tom, is that because we're good, or is it because the league is that poor that we can like I said, we could still get promoted in this league because it's that poor?
Lee, I'm firmly in the camp, and you know, I'll like I said, let's be proved wrong. I'm firmly in the camp. I think we've got the team to get playoffs. I genuinely do.
I think we've got the team. I don't think we've got the manager.
Yeah, have we got the driver? Have we got the pilot or the bus driver to get us there to deliver?
No, tactically, he's not good enough.
No, he's not.
One-dimensional. It's one-dimensional. There's no real sort of shift in shape or change to anything.
No.
It either works or it don't work. And that's why
Exactly.
I mean, I'll put it out to anybody in the chat, anybody on here. When was the last time we played good for a full 90 minutes?
We haven't. We
Name the
haven't.
game.
Mate. We haven't.
This season.
No, I can't name you one. Can't name you one.
When was the last time you were actually excited to go to a match and think, "Oh, I'm going to enjoy watching this game"?
A long time ago. I would ask you.
Football, it is boring, and like I said, I don't care if it's boring football and we're boring way into the playoffs and we get promoted. Nobody's going to care how we played because the league is that bad. However, you've got to call it as you see it. So when I'm sure had won a game and he'd won a couple of games, I give him the credit where he deserved, because you've got to take it game by game. But you've got to also have an open mind to think we're getting beat every week prior to him going on this little mini run where everybody's got excited and all of a sudden Matt Amshaw's the next Pep Guardiola. Not happening. Yeah. When you break the performances down, when you break the stats down, we have not actually put a team to the sword where we've absolutely destroyed them. Closest to it with Northampton second half, but Northampton are terrible. Yeah. You'd expect to do that. We did that last season there. In fact, we did it more emphatic last season at Northampton because they're not a good team. Pete Scott says the last time we played well was at Charlton under Evans. I agree with that. Yeah, 100%. That was the last time.
But what I would say, this is where I guess people do get annoyed, don't they? So, like, I felt the Northampton game was the one game where Rotherham played well and deserved the win. Not just just for half an hour or 45 minutes. I thought they played well for arguably 2/3 of the game. And you're right, Northampton weren't great. But then again, I have not seen one team really, maybe excluding Cardiff, I've not seen one team who I've been impressed with. So you can only beat what's put in front of you. If we can perform every game that we did against Northampton, I guarantee we would end up in the top 6. I'm confident about that. But I want to ask yourself, Lee. I want you to sign on to this one then. So we mentioned. So Tom was talking about the fact that we've lost the FA Cup. We've not kind of gone into the game wanting to win. And the reason he says that is because of the changes made and the subs and what have you. So Hampshire has come out and he said in his post-match that there were 14 players injured or ill or whatever that might be. So what are your thoughts on that? Because I find it strange that on Wednesday or Thursday last week, there were no additional injuries. Everyone were fine apart from those that were already injured. And then 2 days later, there's 14 out. So what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are the club are lying to the fans. That's what my thoughts are. Because these players are getting injured and it's all similar muscle injuries, yeah? Very similar to what sort of Derby had when a certain person was there. They haven't conducted a thorough investigation on why we were getting these injuries. And now it's come to bite us again. We've been told by Everton we've got to manage Sharif's minutes. So he's only allowed to play a certain amount of time. It's not good enough. If he's not able to play 90 minutes, we shouldn't be signing him on loan. But what do you expect from a club that get a contract to Joshua Kyoto? You can't moan about injuries and then you're giving players with injury records contracts like confetti, and anybody with half a brain would know that Kyoto weren't going to stay fit this season. You then, but you add it on, so then you've taken another risk by giving Holmes, who we got on loan, but he had he's had a bad injury record. That's why he couldn't get into the Luton team. So we signed another injury-prone defender on loan. Lo and behold, first game he gets injured. We then do a risk with Josh Benson in the summer. He gets injured. We're actually lucky that Dan Gore's played all the games because he were injury prone as well. Because he went to Port Vale, got injured. He came to us, got injured. Started off the season injured, but obviously he's been performing well. So we've got away with one there. But when you take a risk on so many players that have got checkered history of bad fitness, then you're asking for trouble. And then to top off, we'll give players to Kieran McGuckin. He was never giving Kieran McGuckin a chance this season. I feel sorry for the lad. He's ended up having to go out on loan again. We get a contract to Jack Holmes, clearly not up to League One standard. So then your squad is filled with garbage. So if you do have an injury crisis, you're screwed because and then the young players, he's put them into the matchday squad anyway. So he's deemed them good enough. Otherwise, they shouldn't have got a squad number at the start of the season. And then we find out some of these youngsters, they're not good enough. So where do you go?
Just on that, I have actually got a couple of positives from Saturday, actually. Positive number one, Harrison Duncan, when he came on, he looked good. To be fair to him, he looked quite steady.
Bez, just a quick one with him. So I can't understand why he has not been given a chance, because whenever I've seen him play, he's been good. There was rumour, was it Manchester City was looking at him?
Everton, yeah. Man City, Everton.
And liking him to a new John Stones, yet he can't get in the Rotherham team, which has been...
I think he'll start tomorrow, Lee. I think he'll start tomorrow.
Well, you say that. How many of these 14 injured players will be available tomorrow, do you think? I bet you at least 6 are available tomorrow. And that kind of backs up your point, Lee, about the club and, not exactly feeding us the full truth and the full context behind these injuries.
The club behind the scene are run by charlatans. I have to be brutally honest. They're run by absolute charlatans. I wouldn't believe anything that... I think I believe Keir Starmer over them that come out in the media for us.
Bloody hell.
They talk absolute nonsense all the time. So if they tell me something, I believe they talk the opposite.
Okay.
So I want to get on to...
Sorry, before you get on, sorry. So I did say there were 2 positives. Another youngster who played really well when he came on, that Dean Gardner, he actually looked... He weren't that he played well, he actually looked like a footballer. Like, a lot of times you bring a footballer on and they don't look like he can play football, like that Douglas, for example. But that Gardner, honestly, he looked really neat and tidy. He'd get hold of the ball to his feet and he'd lay it off to the fullback. Honestly, he looked really good. So there's your 2 positives, Duncan and Gardner.
So what were your thoughts on Jordan Hugill at centre-half? When he's got a centre-half on the bench, I mean, what is that all about?
Well, first of all, it's another praise for Jordan Hugill, isn't it? He's been getting all this stick from Rotherham fans, and he's obviously loves the club because he's trying his hardest. He don't matter where you play him, he'll still try his hardest. So first of all, it's a massive thumbs up for Jordan Hugill. He's got to be classed as a legend soon, surely. In terms of the manager putting him there with Duncan on the bench, and especially when Duncan came on and played well, I think it's an absolute disgrace, personally. An absolute disgrace. Not only did he struggle, Jordan Hugill, that gives fans who don't like him another chance to have a go at him, even though it was unfair. It probably knocks his confidence. He's not obviously scored a lot of goals for Rotherham. His confidence is probably not that high. So it knocks his confidence as well. So yeah, I just think it's an all-round disgrace, personally.
Yeah, I think he's thrown him under the bus. he lacks pace anyway.
Yeah.
So they've got a player that's just gone past him easily, beat him for pace. Not his fault. He's not a defender. But like you said, knowing our fans and the criticism he's been getting, to do that to him, I think is disgusting. I think you've just thrown a professional who's actually put his body on the line all season. Yeah. He's never not been fit. I mean, he even played the other week with flu, cold, everything else. And you get morons still going on about Jordan Hugel not scoring goals. They don't go on about the defensive work he does. Even when he's playing up front, he's getting back, clearing headers and everything like that. What you don't get from other players. And at his age, to get up and down, it takes some doing. Realistically, you need Hugel in between that area and just tell him to stay up there. Don't want you tracking back. We're going to put balls into the box and you're going to score. Yeah. And that's how you get the best out of Jordan Hugel. We're not getting the best out of Jordan Hugel at the moment. The only players that are excelling in this team are players that are individually quality. So your Dango, your Sam Nombes that can actually do something extraordinary that other players can't do. Yeah. So you look at Barnsley, it's a wonder strike. Yeah. We haven't, it's not by good football. We haven't, you name the last great team goal we scored.
That's a great question. Well, to be fair, we did, was it Bradford? We did score. Bradford? We did score a good team goal against Bradford.
Yeah, it was Bradford when we did the little interplay in the box. How often do you see that? Not very often. You'll see Sam Nombe score a goal that he has no entitlement to get, or something magical like Benson's free kick. Not good play, is it? It's a wonder strike. Same with Kean Spencer's goal. Even the goal that saved his job in the virtual trophy, that was a wonder strike. It wasn't good play. It's not like we're building. When you look at it, we're not tearing teams apart. No, not even coming close to it. And even poor teams were struggling to really play them off the park. You look at the stats. It's always very, very even, and we've probably got less shots and less possession than the opposition, and we're playing the likes of Burton and Swindon, and it's just getting embarrassing. And I think that we've got the players to get us promoted, but I just don't think we've got the manager. Pete Scott says, Hugel, the scapegoat again, bad management. Yeah, Pete, I totally agree with you. I think he always gets the run of the fans because he doesn't score goals. But you could put Haaland up there, mate. He ain't scoring goals for us because we don't create absolutely nothing. It's a graveyard shift up there. KB Terrace Talk, love Hugel. No, we praise. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, when the team plays well, we will praise them. If Hampshire does something well, we'll praise him. But I'm not going to sit here 15th in the table and say, oh, everything's rosy in the garden. And then we're going to talk about, oh, it's a rebuild. Paul Davis today is saying we're expecting to sell players in January. So how is it a rebuild when we're selling the squad that were built? Doesn't make sense. For me, it is Tony Stewart saying, I've checked out. I'm trying to get as much money back as I can and offer sail into the sunset, because he is saying openly we're going to sell players in January, basically. But apparently we've rebuilt. This is the new rebuild. We should be working this team. It's going to sign. So we're basically signing players to sell them.
Looks like it, yeah.
That's the only thing we've done. So because from apparent things, it's Hall and Martha and Nombe, the ones they're looking to be moving on in January. So probably two of his best players. I wouldn't put Martha in as best players. I think he's another one very inconsistent, and I wouldn't hang my hat on him, to be honest, every week, because he can be brilliant one week and turn into Mirandini the day after. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think.
You
I think
remember Mirandina?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I think with
Jose.
Marty, yeah, you just got to be patient with him. He's still a young lad. The reason he's at Rotherham and not higher up is because he's inconsistent. So I think he deserves a bit of patience. Personally, I think Marty. Maybe get him out on loan. Get him out on loan to a League Two side, and make
We
him
can't
play.
get enough players to loan him out. We need him.
Yeah, true.
We've
Yeah.
got no players at the minute. Tom, on to you. What are your thoughts on this Paul Davis saying that we're going to be looking to sell? Rotherham may. This is the tweet. Rotherham may sell players after Christmas, says Matt Hamshaw.
Well, first and foremost, I think it's incredibly stupid by Matt Hamshaw. I've not read the article, and whether it's clickbait, I don't know, by Mr. Davis. Imagine saying that when we've got 14 injuries. Yeah, we're going to sell players in January. All right. Yeah, we'll be there for all the games, mate. Yeah, sound. Nah. I'm pretty convinced, unless we are top 6 by January, Sam Nombe is going to be sold to a championship club. I'm about certain of that. He will get sold to a Watford or a West Brom or a Norwich even.
Yeah, I mean, if the right money comes in,
yeah, of course.
You can't hold the player back for me.
No.
However,
What's the right money, Lee? What's the right money?
This is what
3
I'm
mil.
really
3
getting to.
mil.
So we paid, I believe, with add-ons, it came to about 1.5 million we paid for him.
Right.
3 mil.
I've seen fans saying we should get 2 million for him.
Should
Not
get 3.
I wouldn't accept 2 million. Not a chance. So,
3
I'll
million.
start with you. What are you saying? How much?
Well, how much would I accept for him?
Would you accept for him? Yeah. Would you say that's a good price?
I'd have to say I'm not going to go as high as I think you're going to go. I'd probably go 2 million, mate. I'd just take 2 million. It's a profit on a player, and he's
500
I know it is, but has he improved while he's been at Rotherham? Maybe. I don't think he's good enough at Championship anyway. So whoever whoever buys him, they're only going to buy him as a squad player. That's what I think. That's what I
agree with you. I don't think Sam Nombe is a Championship ready player. I think if you're a top end League One club, he's a fantastic guy.
Yeah,
he'll get promoted. But if you're in the Championship and you're relying on Sam Nombe, you're going to be at the bottom end of the table.
Yeah.
If he's in your first 11, because he struggled in the Championship. Tom, what about yourself? What would you say is a good price for him? And then I'll reveal my price.
I want to reiterate, if we're top 6, we can't sell him in January. If we are 15th and buggered, then yeah, I would accept 3 million with a 10% sell on.
How much is that, sorry, Tom?
3 million with a 10% sell on.
Okay.
I know what happened, Bez, but that's what Championship manager had on here. 3 million with a 10% add-on. Sell on.
Pete Scott says, we all know we're getting peanuts for Nombe with these clowns running the club.
And that's why you've got to accept a lower...
I think this is your dad.
Yeah.
He says he's not worrying about January yet. He's more concerned about tomorrow.
Which
massive. Brings me on to tomorrow's game, actually.
It's a massive game. This is
it's like we said, isn't it?
The biggest game of our season this tomorrow. Biggest game of the season.
Wow. Okay. Why is that, Tom?
Because if we win it, we go 5 points behind 6th, right? If we lose it, Burton, I believe, jump above us. And then we've got Lincoln next week. And if they beat us, we're absolutely nowheresville. We win that tomorrow. We're 5 points outside of the playoffs. Lincoln, I believe, are 4th or 5th.
We're higher than that now. Let me just have a
look.
We go and beat Lincoln the following week. We are 2 points behind Lincoln and probably in and amongst it. So hopefully,
I think it is the biggest game of the season. I'm not going to lie. So league table, Lincoln are 5th, yeah.
5th, right, okay.
Yeah.
We
Burton,
beat Burton, who were no
Burton, if
mugs.
they win, will go above us by 1 point. So yeah, I think Tom's right. I think it is probably the most important couple of games of the season, because if
It'll
we
define
don't,
where we're going to go.
yeah, it'll define definitely. I think because the table is now starting to take shape at the top.
Yeah.
After sort of 15 to 20 games, you get an idea of where you're going to sort of be. And for me, hopefully we can beat Burton. I've just got a horrible feeling that we might not. And that would be catastrophic, because I think we're in serious trouble then, because then we go to a team in form in Lincoln. And then if we lose that, we're going to be definitely only a mid-table finish, and even could be looking down rather than looking up, which would be ridiculous, really, to set the talent that we've got in that squad. What about you, Bez? What do you think? Are you not putting as much onus on the game as it's a must-win?
Not this early now. I completely get both yours and Tom's points. You're almost saying that this game could shape our season, but I think it's too early to kind of say that. I am like you, though, Lee. I'm concerned about tomorrow because our 5-game winning run's over. We're still not playing very well. We don't know who's fit and who's not fit and who's going to be playing. Burton are a team who they tend to go to the better sides, the bigger sides, and get a result. They've beaten Cardiff. They've beaten Bolton, I think. And I'd class Rotherham in that kind of category, decent, big ground at this level, brand new ground at this level as well. So I can see him coming here and just getting like a 1-0 win. So yeah, I am concerned. I don't want to say what I think will happen, because it is down to who's fit and available. If I'm right, and I think 6 players at least who were injured are available, then I think we should win this game. But I don't think Hugo will start tomorrow if we've got enough players, because why would he when he played 120 minutes on Saturday?
So who do you think is going to be fit that they're saying isn't fit?
I'll be honest, I don't know that. The players, I didn't listen to Hamshaw's post-match. I don't enjoy listening to him. And apparently, didn't he go through each player and say what the injury was? Did he do that?
I didn't listen.
Right, okay. So the players who we all expected to have been fit, because they've been fit for the last few weeks, like a Raggett, for example, I think they'll all be fit. So you're looking at Baptiste, I think he'll be fit. You're looking at Zach Jules, I think he'll be fit. Reece James will be fit. There's 3 there. They didn't play on Saturday. I know James did play, sorry. There's 2 there in Baptiste and Jules. I think they'll be fit, as an example.
Can I just say, Bez, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say that comes to fruition and they are fit, right? It will show that Hamshaw didn't give a shit about the FA Cup.
Yeah, he does. 100% right, yeah. He does, yeah. And all he's done is that is the case, all he's done is he's created an excuse to be knocked out. But let's see it as a positive, right? If he did want to get knocked out of FA Cup, then he must think the playoffs are on. Because otherwise, why would you get knocked out? There's no way he's going to accept 10th place or 12th place or whatever and not have a cup run, because that's just pointless. So he must think, if it's the case that 16th place or whatever are fit tomorrow, he must think that there's a chance that Rotherham can get the top 6. He has to. Otherwise,
I'm with you on that then, pal. Let's hope that we've got a full and fit firing team tomorrow, because I'm telling you, these next 2 games are going to be pivotal for our season, because once we get into December, anything can happen. I think we've got an international break coming up. Denzel Hall, I believe, is going to get called up for Jamaica, so we're going to have a break. And then Christmas comes, December comes thick and fast, and we're playing a lot of games. If we're not in the mix come December, I think it's just going to be an absolute nothing season, personally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, if we are going to be in the mix and then we're selling as best players, what's going on there?
I've no idea with that, Lee. I think that's mental, and I think that's Davis. Do you have to pay? Do you have to pay behind? Do you have to pay for his article? Do you or what?
Not all of them. Not all of them. Some are free and some you have to pay. I don't know if that's a pay one or.
The fact that he's reported that is absolutely mental because, like I said before, if we're not top 6 fighting for promotion, Sam Nombe will be sold in January. We did the same with Dan Barlasser when we stayed up that season. We didn't gamble on Ogbene being sold. Obviously, the board thought, right, we can lose Barlasser and maybe stay up, and we did, to be fair. And we kept hold of Ogbene, and I'm sure we could have got a decent amount of money for Ogbene in that January we stayed up. Was he instrumental for us staying up? I think he was injured, wasn't he? After January, wasn't he? Chio, I believe. But he will sell Sam Nombe. Yeah.
But for me, guys, a progressive football club are now going to Sam Nombe and saying,
yeah,
we want to make you the highest paid player at the club. We want you to get us promoted. We'll put a release clause in there if a championship club meets the price that we're happy with. They agree on that. He gets a pay rise, scores goals. If we don't get promoted anyway, there's a release clause there, and it gets him a big money move. Why can't the club operate like that?
Well, the only player that did that with was Johansson, wasn't it? They did that with Johansson.
Yeah, we did that with Johansson. So,
Aye.
I mean, people have said, oh, you can't do it. You can do it. Many clubs do it. Peterborough used to do it regularly. They were brilliant at doing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. And they're a similar size club to us. And they got big money for players like Sombalonga and players like that because they actually were proactive in it. We seem to be reactive in a transfer window. We're never proactive. So for me, I wouldn't be even thinking about selling players. I'd be thinking about tying them down to longer deals, building the team around them, getting promoted, because then you make more money off them anyway. Because if they're playing well, getting promoted, the money follows. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah. But the football club now, you can see they're in panic mode. Oh, we've lost players for nothing, so we're gonna sell them in January, and they're still not gonna. If they get 2 million, they've been absolutely ripped off. For me, I believe Sam Nombe in this day and age of market, guaranteed minimum 20 goals a season for a decent League One side. Yeah, 4 million quid. He's 26 years. Is he 26 years old? 4 million.
Oh, you go use his prime, yeah.
4 million quid. That's. I'm not even answering the phone if there's not 4 million on there. I'm telling them to go away. Yeah, £4 million. That's it. And I said to the Sam Nombe, I pay you championship wages. You get us promoted. If you don't get us promoted, I've got a release clause in there, and we'll sell you.
Okay, Lee. So that's what you would accept. What are Rotherham United going to accept, in your opinion?
They'll accept 1.5.
2 million.
I think they'll accept 2 million.
I think they'll break even and probably accept 1.5 with a 10% sell on.
Yeah, I'll consider that as well. Yeah.
Ian says, even I'm sure isn't stupid enough to go extra time Saturday with important midweek game coming up.
I just wonder on that. I just wonder if he was gutted that it did go to extra time, you know. That's
the most logical thing to do, so the club won't do it. Mighty Miller 7, yeah, that's what I mean. Mighty Miller 7. It is so basic. It is basics what the club's failing at. That's what's so frustrating. And the fact is, they could make loads more money. We're not asking you invest to get the investment back. If you don't invest, everything becomes rotten and everything becomes worthless. Yeah. Same with the stadium. We're not investing in that stadium anymore. It's just rotting away. It's a new stadium. It's rotting away. We've got empty units still. We're as a football club, as a business, we are run like a corner shop. We're run like his lighting company. I mean, he's got a lighting company and this lighting at the stadium's crap. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Ian, not if he planned on losing.
I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, I don't know if he's planned on losing. This is a tweet that come in, so I'm going to put this to both of you. So Twinge 1986 says fans moan when we run players' contract down and leave for nothing. Now we might sell some players when there is value in their highest, and fans still moan. Great logic.
I'll answer that one, right? So we've only had Denzel Hall and now Johnny Martha 6 months. Why are we selling them after 6 months? Facts. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Bez, what are your thoughts?
Well, people, I mean, look, he's basically saying Twin J, isn't he? He's basically saying that he can't understand how the club can run someone's contract and get nothing, or sell them in order to guarantee money. But
he's saying fans moan when we let players' contracts run down. Yeah. Now they've come out and said they're going to sell them. Basically, we're still moaning. Basically,
fans are moaning because they don't want a player to run his contract down, obviously, and they don't want to sell him either. Why can't we just offer him a new contract, Twin J, or whatever his name is?
I mean, when was the last player we actually? I think it's got to be Victor Johansson, the last player, valuable asset that we've actually tied down to another deal to get so we could get a sale. It's got to be. We've allowed so many players contracts to run down, and we've got nowhere near the market value from Ollie Rathbone being one of them. And let's be honest, Sam Nombe, they're only going to sell him because they haven't managed to sort a new contract out for him. He's coming to last year.
It's the same with Hakeem Adoffin, Cameron Humphreys, although I'm not that bothered about Cameron Humphreys. So Minge is right in the sense, but listen,
what's Adoffin done since he left?
Well, he's injured. He's injured, isn't he? I believe Adoffin is injured, but I will say Hakeem Adoffin, I think probably he was all right.
Peter would do it right, because what they do, I know we've already mentioned him. What they do is they'll buy a player, who's got potential. They'll give him, they'll give him a 3 or 4 year deal, right? Let's say he's got a 4-year deal. When he gets to the end of his 3rd year, so he's in the summer and he's got 1 more year left, they will offer him a contract. If he says no, they then put him on transfer list and sell him. That's what we should do.
That's the best way to do, because also you're getting 3 good years out of a player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're getting some good years out of him, and then you're getting a good fee for him. Or signing a new contract, and then you're putting a release clause in where you get a bigger deal. The club's on a winner chicken dinner there all day long. Big Jim says, where a football club run by non-football people, get the lot out. Yeah, I mean, we are run by dinosaurs. That's the best way I can describe it. We're run by dinosaurs in there.
Tonysaurus Rex.
Yeah. And obviously, we've obviously had investment again. Looks like that's been torn away because Big Tony wants more money again. So, big Peterborough model is exactly what we should be looking at. Doing everyone involved is a winner. Exactly. This is what I mean. Football is a business. We're not sat here saying, we don't want to sell our bet. We understand we're a football club that has to operate within a budget. We have to sell our better players to continue. Yeah, I haven't got a problem with that. But we're not selling our players. We're letting the contracts run down. We're losing them. We're making the wrong decisions in managers, because we're still paying 3 managers off. I believe Richardson won't be now because he's just got another job. But we're making so many bad decisions off the pitch. Every week I see an advertisement for a physiotherapist or
that's true.
Somebody else. And then you look at the salary. They're on minimum wage, my
yeah.
G.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what is going on? Like, are we a professional football club or a lighting company? It just baffles me, and I just don't get it. I really don't get it. So back to football, because we've gone off a little bit on a tangent with the ownership. So are we going to get back to winning ways against Burton? And if so, how are we going to do it? Tom.
Can I say something? Right, I'll go on to that next. What I don't like, right, is the fact that they have the merry-go-round about who's doing post-match interviews, whether it be Woody, Tongy, Matt Hamshaw. I want to hear from my gaffer at the end of every game.
Tom, I'd say that it most of the time is Hamshaw. It's very rarely one of the other two. I think it was Dale Tongue after one of the EFL trophy games, but apart from that, I've never known it.
Woody did one over there.
Woody did one as well, Bez.
I think the last three was
Hammy, Woody, Tongue.
Yeah, but did those two do the two EFL games?
At the same time, right? This isn't like a competition winners sort of thing. Oh, you get to do the interview tonight because we won. I don't like that personally. I want to hear from my gaffer, right? First and foremost, tomorrow we need to win that game. I don't care what it takes. We need to win that game, and I think we will win that game because I think it's all been smoke and mirrors this weekend. I think whatever that was, we played five, decent prospects in a match of that intensity. Great, whatever. I think that there must be something up his sleeve where it's to full Burton or full their manager, and then tomorrow we put out a full strength squad and we go and smash them. And I'm going to go Rotherham United 3, Burton Albion 1.
3-1. A few comments coming in. Martin Miller, it took Evans 4 months to persuade Stewart to get a new analyst, and when the old one left in the summer, Scores was doing it for months. Lee, have we discussed 4 new injuries? Talk about 6 points forward, 14 injuries back. Yeah, so John, we have talked about the obviously the injuries, and Dave seems to think that he doesn't think there's going to be 14 players out injured when...
Fingers crossed.
And I hope Dave's right. I hope Hamshaw's bluffing it. I haven't had any inside info yet this week, but if I do, I will post it out and let everybody know. But as far as I'm concerned, the players that he said are injured, and I'm not sure whether they're going to make it, really.
The irony is, actually, do you remember we had Jordan Bowery as our striker? He plays centre half for Mansfield now, doesn't he? We should have kept hold of him. Utility player. Another Jordan.
I won't have him back.
He scored against Wednesday that game, and then we lost in the last second.
John says he hopes so. It's embarrassing, to be honest. I mean, like I said, the club did an investigation, and apparently it's just bad luck, these injuries. Not bad luck. It's poor recruitment. It's poor training methods. And yeah, I think the managing of the minutes is not... For a football player, the best thing to do is be playing football. Managing minutes can be worse. Stop-start because of the high intensity of the game. Stop-and-start. I think that's worse for a player than actual... give him a good 80 minutes, good 75 minutes. We're not doing that. We're giving players 45 minutes, or in some cases 40 minutes, and it's just not enough. So, Bez, are you going to be confident for this Burton game then tomorrow? So we've had Tommy. He's going for a 3-1 victory. He's thinking it's a walk in park.
I'm not as confident as Tom. To be fair, I think Tom thinks it's a walking park every time we play a game. No, obviously, if I'm right, and we do get, 5 or 6 of these injured players are fit and available, I think we win the game. I know I already said earlier that Burton are a dangerous team. They've gone to bigger clubs and they've scraped a 1-0 win or what have you. I think we'll win the game 2-1. Is what I'm guessing.
Yeah. John Sullivan says 2-0.
I can't see us keeping a clean sheet. That is one thing.
Yeah, so this is the first time that I'm gonna not predict a Rotherham win.
Wow.
I'm gonna say Rotherham 2, Burton 3.
Wow.
And go, what's your reason that way?
I just think we've won games where we shouldn't win them. We're not playing particularly well. Defensively, we're all over the shop at times in all competitions, even the games we've won. And I think people underplay a winning mentality so much. So had we gone and won that FA Cup game, it gives you the confidence into the next game. I think now the winning streak's broken, we're going to hit a patch of losing 2 or 3. Because I just think that the momentum is with Burton at the minute. They were bottom at one stage, and they've really climbed up and they've done some good wins. I've just got a feeling we're going to lose the game, unfortunately. It pains me to say it. I think it's the first time ever on a sort of Miller's Monday that I've predicted Rotherham to lose, even when we was playing absolutely terrible. I kind of always backed us to win and I wanted to stay positive, but I've just got a horrible feeling about tomorrow because I know how important it is and I want to be proven so wrong because I want us to go and win and really challenge, because I do think we can challenge them playoffs with the players we've got. I just fear the manager is out of his depth, and I've said it. And for fans to come on and say, oh, people will call it, I've never called for him to be manager of the month. Let me tell you, the games we won, we should have won. The game when we beat Barnsley, we shouldn't have won that game anyway. We're playing kids with nappies on. One of the games that we won. We played another League Two team on another game we shouldn't have won. So I hope I'm completely wrong, but I am going to say 3-2 to Burton. Pete Scott says 2-2.
I have got a question for you, Lee. I was just going to say, right, I know the results are always the most important thing. I get that. But we are still earlier on in season, right? Would you rather see a lucky 1-0 Rotherham win, which is exactly the same as Barnsley, right? Where Burton have dominated the game at the 1-0 Rotherham. Or would you rather see Rotherham put in a very good performance but just draw 1-1? What would you rather see tomorrow?
No, like I said to you, Bez, I'm not really bothered about performance at the minute. I just want us to get up into them playoffs. So if it means us winning tomorrow by any means necessary, we win that football match. That's all I want us to do. I don't care if it goes off Numbers backside and Burton have had 110% possession and 38 shots on target and we've had none. And then we have a one off the backside in the 98th minute. I'll take it all day long if it means we get 3 points. I just want us to get 3 points and stay. And then hopefully with winning, it starts to breed a performance. We may get a full 90 minutes performance, but at the minute, I just can't see it. Scott Kent says it'll be a really hard game. Burton or no mugs. I'm saying 2-1 Burton, Charlie Webster masterclass. Hope I'm completely wrong though. Poppy says 1-0 to Burton. Jonathan Sheard says 3-1 Millers. As you have already discussed, 2 massive games this week to organise and set the tone for the rest of the season. Yeah, and that's the thing. We for me, I'd love us to go out and really just tear Burton apart, beat them 5 or 6-0, 4 or 5-0, and really set a statement, and then that would make me believe that I'm sure may be doing a good job. Because from what I've seen on the pitch, the performances are not good enough. Forget the results, yeah. We've won this, we've won that. We're 15th in the table, yeah. So the results aren't that great. We've had a couple of games where we've won a couple of games. One we possibly deserved, the others maybe not so much. But I want to see us start and take teams apart and look like a team that can get promoted. I do not look at these team performances and think we can get promoted. My thing about us getting promoted is purely because of how poor the league is. Nothing to do with how we're playing. I think we could play horrendous for the next end of season games, right to the end of season, poor, and still get promoted. Because I don't think you even need to play that good at this level. The league is so poor. So I just want us to go out and do the business. What are your thoughts? Would you sooner us play well, draw, or?
Yes, I was going to answer the main question. Because it's still early on in the season, and where we are in the league, we've still got a massive chance of getting in that top 6, regardless of what happens tomorrow. I actually would rather see a performance because we've, as you said at the start of the show, Lee, we've not seen a full 90 minutes. I think the best we've probably seen was a 60 minutes, possibly at Northampton. But if you ignore that game, the best we've probably seen is 35, 40 minutes at most. Even though we did dominate a half, it's not nearly the full half. So if you said to me that tomorrow we dominate the game, we have 20 shots, we have 10 on target, we have 3 or 4 clear-cut chances, and they have one chance and it ends up 1-1, I'd see that as a positive because it would prove that there is a performance in this. And also, when you do have a good performance but don't get the win, you know that you're that close to almost perfection, because with the performance like that, you know results will come eventually. Whereas if you're winning luckily, I don't think you'll ever reach a point where the performances catch up with the result. And that's why I think we lost to Swindon, because we've almost been a little bit, we've got into the game a little bit complacent amongst other things. And I kind of think we might do it tomorrow, be a little bit complacent, because we've won 5 in a row, ignoring Saturday. It wouldn't surprise me if we're a little bit complacent tomorrow,
Yeah, and that's why I kind of sort of stuck up for you on the post that went a little bit viral for you, because you were just stating the facts of the performances aren't quite there, and you're not getting carried away with the wins, because if you break it down, performances and the actual games, they could have gone either way, those games. The positive is nobody's actually teared us apart either, other than Cardiff.
Yeah, that's true.
Cardiff, that game away at Cardiff, I thought we got tore apart there. But other than that, we've been in every game, which we should be at this level.
Yeah.
Let's bear no bones about it. Johnny Talk says 5-1 Burton, lads. Sorry. Does anybody know who this Johnny Talks is? Because he shares a lot of our stuff, but I don't know who he is. Says he's a Nottingham Forest fan on something.
Johnny Talks shit.
Yeah, Johnny, mate, 5-1. Come on, surely that can't happen.
Do you want to, Lee? Do you want to quickly talk about Lincoln then, just for 5? Talk about free Lincoln.
Yeah. So, and then obviously the game after that is Lincoln. So, Bez, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on that game as well? Because they're 5th in the table, Lincoln. Yeah.
It's interesting because I think, well, number one, whoever's not fit tomorrow, there's obviously a better chance that they could be fit for the weekend. So straight away, we're probably going to have a stronger lineup available for the Saturday against Lincoln. And number two, Rotherham in my lifetime have always done better against the so-called better sides. You know, they're playing someone who's fourth in the league.
We're not calling Lincoln better sides, are we?
No, all right then.
We haven't fallen that bad, surely.
No.
I mean,
You know what I mean? The fifth in the league.
The fifth in the table, but
I mean, Bradford was an example. Bradford at the time was top.
Somebody was trying to convince me that drawing at home to Bradford's a good result. Bradford are absolutely
not when you're 2-0 up now. I don't think so. But as I was saying, I think these teams
now are a bit accepting some right rubbish, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, hold on. Sorry. So as I was saying, the teams who are okay, I'll rephrase it. The teams who are at the top normally we tend to do better again. So I actually am more confident that we'll beat Lincoln than I am Burton. Also, we've got a chance of a lot more players being ready and fit for the Lincoln game. So I'm going to go for a. I don't want to say 2-1 again. I'll go for 3-1. I'm going to go 3-1. Rotherham 3, Lincoln 1. Tom?
The Imps. Listen, it all depends what we do tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm same as you. I think tomorrow's game is going to be either a catalyst to a catastrophe, or we're going to go sailing on. Because I think if we beat Burton, we go and smash Lincoln.
Yeah,
I agree. And then the momentum takes us on.
The momentum. So this is why I keep reiterating. I think tomorrow is our biggest game of the season, personally. If we beat Burton tomorrow, we're going to smash Lincoln. If we lose to Burton tomorrow, I have no idea.
What about if we draw with Burton?
That's different.
I think Scott Kent said 2-2. So if we go to Burton, draw 2-2, do you think we're going to smash them then, or do you think we're going to draw them both?
No, I think if we draw tomorrow against Burton, depending on the circumstances, and as Bez was alluding to before, how we play, right? If we play really good football but draw, then I'll be like, yes, we can go and have Lincoln, right? However, if we play crap and draw, I'll be like, oh, for God's sake. So, but you know what? Sod it. Positivity and all that sort of stuff. 2-0 Rotherham against Lincoln. Go on. Up the Millers.
Well, listen, I can't even believe I predicted us to lose against Burton. I mean, it's Burton Albion for crying out loud.
I can't believe you've done that. I can't believe you have all to do that.
It's a
you're going to get some stick. When I clip that later and I get that out as a video, you're going to get some stick for that.
Yeah, because I always back my team. I always back Rotherham, no matter what. I put me head on the line against Barnsley, and I got away with it big time. But I don't know. I just got a bad feeling about tomorrow. I hope I'm totally wrong, and I'm eating humble pie. And I hope I'm wrong about Amshore and I eat humble pie and we get promoted and
we all think the same, yeah.
It just frustrates me with our fans that you can't you can only be one or the other.
Or the other. Yeah.
Praise them, and then if you criticise them, there's something wrong with you. And
yeah.
You know, like what does me head in is, the Amshore haters are going to be out tonight.
Yeah, I hate that as well.
And then the other side will be the same. The Amshore lovers will be disappearing tonight because we've lost. Well, why don't we just call each game as we see it? So if we're crap, let's just say we're crap. If we're good, let's just say we're good. Exactly. It doesn't need to be divided. Like, I've never known such a fan base like it where I get more stick off my own fan base. Like, all the stuff I said about Barnsley, and they're all wanting me to do collabs with one of their fans, and they love me. But Rotherham fans, I back Rotherham, and they still don't like me. You know what I mean? Can't win. Same with Betts. Somebody saying they don't like what he's saying at the game, but they don't say it to him. They just chime up on a post. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it's easy, isn't it? It's easy. Yeah.
it is easy, but we all support the same football team. We're all from the same town. I mean, realistically, I think 90% of us have to blame as dads or something that we support Rotherham, but we support Rotherham. We should all stick together and stick to other supporters and us all stick to one rather than the fan base is so divided. If you don't think Hamshaw's the man for the job, you don't support Rotherham. You hate Rotherham. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, like, let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Absolutely.
Pete, the go. Cheers, Pete. I appreciate that. I do get a lot of stick. I do actually like it when I do get some nice comments because at the end of the day, I am a human. I do have feelings. I know people think I don't, but like I do have feelings. And like when people are abusing me every day, it kind of, you think I put a platform out because people wanted something a little bit different. I ask for people's advice and I'll always listen to it and try and change it so it's better for the fans and stuff like that. So, but no matter what I do, some people just don't like me, you know. But Bez says the fans that go there love me, so there you go. When I've been to the games, I'll be honest, I ain't had that many people. Well, I've had no people say anything bad to me. I've had only nice comments. So even somebody at the club that's you would think wouldn't like me shook my hand and said he likes what I do, but he's not allowed to say it. So I don't know what I'm like the big bad wolf at the football club, aren't I? Ben, you keep asking me to come to the next game. Then probably when I get to New York, I'm probably banned. Tony Stewart's probably got my picture up in the reception. Don't let this man in.
We should get a box. We should get the KB box.
KB.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do, what I thought of doing is towards. Have we got the home games near Christmas? I might try and get us a box, and we'll have a proper Christmas do there.
Rather Boxing Day or New Year's Day.
And for pictures, they can come and have a picture with me.
We're away on Boxing Day.
We're away on Boxing Day. Oh, yeah. We're doing an away day box.
Do.
So it gives like Lincoln fans or somebody. I don't know. We'll have a look at the Christmas fixtures, see what's about, and we'll see what we can arrange. But it'll be quite good. So for me, Lincoln away, I haven't given you my prediction yet because I've gone off on one, but Lincoln away. So I'm like, Tom, if we manage to beat Burton, we go and win at Lincoln. I think if we lose against Burton, I think we lose both games.
Bloody hell, does yeah.
I'm sorry, but for flipping out, what do you want me to do? No, scrap everything. Rotherham United to win 3-0 against Burton and then beat Lincoln 5-0.
Get in, up the Millers.
Up the Millers. So, guys, obviously that's the end of tonight's show. It's been emotional again. Lincoln's at home. Yeah, I know the I just said, yeah. Lincoln's at home, by the way. So yeah, we'll beat them 5-0 then. But yeah, I think I'm with Tom 100%. I think this is the most important game of the season tomorrow night. So if you're Matt Amshaw in or you're Matt Amshaw out, I don't care, but just cheer them on. We've got to get a victory wherever you're watching it. Just support the team, and hopefully we win the game, and then we're in touching distance of the playoffs. And that's where I think we should be. And I think it's where everybody wants us to be. That supports the team, despite obviously we have spats with other fans and stuff, but we just need to come together and support the team. So I'm hoping for a win tomorrow, and I'm going to hope Bez's predictions comes true because he predicted a win. Tom, you predicted a win in the end, did you? You were that much on the fence. I didn't know. You was like saying they're going to lose, they're going to win. I was like, I don't know where
3-1.
Tom's going.
3-1. We're gonna win. We're gonna win 3-1. Be a piece of piss. Don't worry about it. Be fine.
So I'm going to go 3-1 as well then, because I said we were going to lose 3-2, but Tom's convinced me into a 3-1 victory.
3-1, piece of piss.
I can't really back against my team. It don't feel right to do that.
No.
Scott, only stat that matters is the score. Lads, don't care if we have 5% at one shot if we get 3 points. Yeah, that's what we said tonight. Forget the sexy football. I don't think we're going to be playing it anytime soon.
No.
Let's just get the win. We need the win tomorrow. The attendances are concerning though, aren't they?
They are, but I mean, I think a win tomorrow. The New Year. Are we playing Lincoln at home next Saturday? We are, aren't we?
Yeah.
If we're 5 points outside of the playoffs next Saturday after we beat.
Yeah, because Lincoln will fetch a few as well because they're up there, aren't they, at the minute?
That's when we should be saying, hang on, we're 5 points outside the playoffs. Get to the ground, blah, 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 ticket price, whatever, right? Let's get it rocking. Let's get a win.
So just before we go, I just want to ask this to you two guys. So obviously, I know there's been mentioned that we're going to sell players in January, which is quite annoying. But just so we win Saturday, we win Tuesday, we're close to them players. We get to January and we're in the playoffs. What do you think this squad needs? You get 2 positions. You can sign. You only get to sign 2 players. What positions would you focus on to sign?
Well, to me, the type of player would be experienced player, and I would be looking at a striker 100%, and it's between 2. I'm going to go with, I nearly did the same as Scott there, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to go striker and I'm going to goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper?
Yeah.
I think Dawson's doing all right.
He's done all right recently. I agree with that, yeah. But, yeah, I don't really trust him. He's always got a mistake in him. So, mind of his, yeah. I was going to say centre-back and striker, but it's definitely a striker. And it's between goalkeeper and centre half for me.
Yeah, I'd definitely go for a striker. And I would probably go for another player that can play on the wing. Because I think Martha is too in and out. I'd like a sort of Ben Pringle type, somebody that can deliver a ball and put it on the head of Hugo or whoever's playing up front. Mm-hmm. What about you, Tom?
Centre half and a goalkeeper.
Another goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper, yeah.
Well, it says centre back and striker. So I think everybody's in agreement with the striker. Some of you wanting a new goalkeeper. Some of you wanting a new centre back.
I don't necessarily.
From what I've heard, Holmes is close to getting back fit as well. He's ahead of schedule. Like
he is. With a goalkeeper, I just want somebody to push Dawson in case he has a horrendous game.
Yeah, because
yeah.
I mean that can look
horrendous.
I'd probably release him.
Yeah.
Can he do it, as we say in Scotland? But anyway,
I'd probably release him. So there's a lot been watching again tonight on the live. Really appreciate you watching us. We will be back. What day are we on? I don't
Monday.
Even know. Miller's Monday. We will
post match after match reactions tomorrow, Lee.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, so we didn't do them for the FA Cup or the virtual trophy. I did some little short ones, but we only sort of put them out. But we will be doing an after match reaction to tomorrow night's game, and we'll be doing a match reaction to Saturday's game as well. We will also be live on Thursday for the Premiership clubs. So the Thursday night show will be live again on Thursday. We have a new host for the FPL show. Merzgars have now taken over that, so he's got some new stuff planned for that show. And then obviously what Tom goes on quite a bit is a bit of a legend on the show, the Sunday night supplement that includes Rotherham United in that as well. Tom has a rant on Rotherham on there. So that's it's all the roundup of all the weekend's action. So a bit of everything on that show. So it is a really good show, and that's hosted by my good friend Philip. So yeah, he will be hosting that on Sunday. If you have watched the video and you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. If you click the little bell as well, it will notify you when we go live as well, so you don't miss any sort of content that we put out there. Anything from you guys before we say goodbye to everybody?
Cheers, Lee. Cheers, Bez. Legends.
Cheers.
No worries. And up the Millers, guys. And hopefully we'll do a positive after-match reaction after Rotherham have smashed Burton Albion.
3-1.